What's going on, FN Nation? John and Pepe here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Game Day Playbook Preview Show. We have a big end of the week here. 13 games on the Friday main slate. We appreciate you all tuning in. If you can hit that like, hit that subscribe button over on YouTube. Free way to support the work we do here on the Fantasy Alarm channel. James, you'll be on the playbook for this 13 gamers, so give yourself a first look. Pitching, we're kind of in the middle of the rotation for seemingly a lot of these teams here. Feels like it's going to be a better hitting day for us when it comes to building lineups, maybe than pitching. How you feeling?
Feeling good. 13 games is definitely a lot of games. It's better when there's no cores. We do not have cores on this slate, so should be good to go. A couple of rain symbols that we're going to have to take a peek at when we wake up on Friday morning as well.
Agreed. Kicking things off here, pitching. Logan Gilbert at home against Minnesota, $9,900. Ronel Blanco keeping it going. Gets the Mets here, $9,800. Charlie Morton is $9,500 against Pittsburgh. Logan Webb, $93 against the Dodgers. Max Scherzer, second start of the year for him, $91. That's your $9K and above tier. Not like great matchups for anybody. And the one that does have the best matchup, I'm not really a big fan of. So what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, you can get to Gilbert. He's been obviously lights out the last two starts he's made, 16 scoreless innings. The strikeouts seemingly pretty much back for Logan Gilbert, 6 or more in 3 straight starts. He's 20-plus fantasy points in 4 straight, 30-plus in 2 straight. Minnesota's offense has been really good, though. So obviously, take that with a grain of salt. So yeah. Gilbert, more of a tournament play. I'd say the same thing kind of for Ronel Blanco. The Mets have been awesome, man. And I know Blanco's been really good the last 3 starts. Again, he's been good. It's just, sticky stuff or not, he's been pretty awesome. So if you want to get to Blanco, I think it's a tournament play. I do think Charlie Morton is very interesting. Obviously, the walks have been an issue at times for Morton this year. Obviously, the blowouts have been issue as well. There's a lot of strikeout appeal. Pittsburgh strikes out a bunch against right-handed pitching. They still rank near the bottom of the league in most offensive categories against right-handed pitching. So I assume that's who you were talking about when you mentioned like one good matchup you don't really like. And it's definitely a price thing. Like Charlie Morton at 95 is uncomfortable. But I understand.
I'd lock him in. 95, I'm like,
I understand it. Because if you take away the walks, like, he doesn't give up home runs. Everything's still like hard sinkers down. Everything's on the ground. So stop walking people and you'll pitch deep in games. And there's a lot of strikeout appeal. Logan Webb, another guy who just like doesn't really give up home runs, but who knows with the way Shohei Ohtani's swinging the bat, anything is possible. That's what Kevin Garnett taught us. And then like, I get that Scherzer was great at 91 and I get that he had 23 fantasy points. There's a lot of factors that went into that. Like, if there's no win there, you're removing 4 points. Like, he had 4 strikeouts, 1 hit. I mean, that's not necessarily a repeatable offense against Baltimore when you're only throwing 60 pitches, right? Like, and I can't imagine he's going to be suddenly throwing 85, 90 in start number 2 of the year. So, I'm not necessarily interested in anything but like large field tournaments where I'm playing a boatload of lineups.
20 max, he probably makes 1 lineup for me.
Yeah, agreed.
And even then, like I said, the way Gunnar Henderson's going right now. Now we've seen obviously Baltimore shut down at times this year. Like it wouldn't, they're not, impervious to those things. But I want to see Scherzer deeper into games before I risk that. They're like you said.
Agreed.
Tier below, Bailey Ober gets the Seattle strikeout matchup. He's $8,800. Yankees, Toronto continue their series here. We got Stroman versus Kikuchi. Nick Pivetta at home against Boston. Jameson Taillon coming off of a good start against Milwaukee here, though, at 82. And then Knack against the Giants at 8K.
I like Bailey Ober 88. I know the price is another price that is a little uncomfortable. And I understand that the 2 starts he made that he dominated in were Oakland. But when you looked at Bailey Ober's surface numbers versus peripheral numbers, there is a large discrepancy there. It was suggesting that he was pitching to a lot of bad luck. And then the luck has turned over his last 2 starts. Complete game, 10 strikeouts against Oakland his last time out. Obviously, the offense has been cooking for him, although Carlos Correa left Thursday's game with an arm injury. So we'll have to see if Correa's in the lineup on Friday. That would obviously be a ding to Minnesota's lineup. I like over 88 for tournaments. We know Seattle's offense strikes out a lot. I think you can play Kikuchi. The only problem is the last 2 games he's been lit up, and obviously the Judge Soto factor is baked in, and especially when Aaron Judge is like once again just on a different planet with just every day. Pivetta definitely has tournament appeal, but you never know which version of Nick Pivetta you're going to get.
Lately, it's been the bad version of Nick Pivetta.
Bad version. I think Logan Knack is perfectly fine as like a cash game-ish play. Gotta hate the pitch count. Don't enjoy this pitch count, and it's a Dave Roberts-led team, so there is just no telling what it's going to be on a night-to-night basis.
Right, gets recalled back up. I mean, we saw him in April with a 94 pitch game there. 5 innings, 2 hits, and gets pulled there at 73.
Why? So, why? Like why? You know, like it's just incredibly hard to trust.
I agree. Going down into the 7K tier, do you have a target that you're looking to play?
I mean, Payante has upside against Cincinnati at home. Which I mean, this Tristan McKenzie version this year has been pretty disappointing with all the home runs.
Mm-hmm.
It just continues. I don't think 7,500 is a good price, but I don't think you can get there. I have a pretty high suspicion that Drew Thorpe is going to get a lot of ownership against Colorado. A highly coveted prospect that was, in a trade, finds his way to Chicago, looks really good against Seattle. Detroit faces one good offense, gets lit up against Arizona. Well, guess what? Colorado, not a good offense on the road. Big strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. So I suspect Thorpe is a pretty popular play. Yep. I could see people going to possibly Kenta Maeda, despite how bad he's been, because the Angels have been bad. But I don't think there's a single other name on this list that I'd even maybe Dakota Hudson. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you throw a dart at Kenta Maeda, like Frankie Montes outside of Cincinnati, maybe at 65. Like there's not a lot of good here.
No,
not a lot of good here. Let's go on to catcher. We generally look for our cheapest play and plug. Any notables for you?
No problem. I was just chugging water. All good. Had to switch over to catcher. No worries. Any notables here? Nothing at the top. Usually I'm the spend up at catcher guy on this program. Whatever Braves catchers in the lineup against Martin Perez coming off the IL. Both those are in play.
Francisco Alvarez, do you think he can get the Ronald Blanco?
He can get to anybody. This man is just he didn't get out against Garrett Cole, didn't get out against Luis Gil. He has been amazing. So yes, 3,700 is too cheap for Francisco Alvarez. That's a gotta play while he's that price tag.
I agree. It's only 4,500 in a week.
Yeah. Higashioka double dong the other day. He has a lot of RBIs lately, a lot of home runs. All he does is homer. Yeah. I know it's a righty, but like he just hits homers. And then Bo Naylor, who has been really, really good of late. I think he has a hit in like all of his last X amount of starts. So I think Bo Naylor's a pretty good one.
I like it. First base. Again, big slate. So all the notable names are up at the top. We talked a lot about Logan Webb in the past and just his ability to get ground balls. Now, does that matter when you're facing Ohtani and Freeman? Probably not. But again, obviously he's probably more thankful that there's no Mookie Betts. Yeah. Mookie Betts has crazy BVP against Logan Webb here.
Hell yeah.
Naylor versus Marsh maybe at 51 feels pretty good. Walker versus Sears at 5K. Also right there in that range.
Yeah, both those guys were my priorities as well. I think you're not going to find better plays than them too.
Mid-tier.
Vinny Paz, I know he's been struggling. Did homer the other day. Couple straight games with pretty solid production. Goldschmidt's been good against right-handed pitching. So if you want to play him against Montas, but like then we could just go all the way down. to our boy, which did they take our no. Did they take our Jose Miranda? They did. They took our first base eligibility away.
He's third base only.
Tons of let's put him and Royce Lewis both third base. It makes a lot of sense. Carlos Santana is obviously wrong end of his split. Horwitz, 39. Would you play Miguel Sano?
I mean,
Maeda's been awful against righties this year.
Yeah.
Typically. You could say no and just
probably,
be like, no.
I probably would not play Miguel Sano.
Okay,
I like Horowitz there, the dual positional eligibility.
Bowers hit a grand slam the other day, 3,600 against Tyone.
Yeah. Andrew Vaughn, Hudson, Nathaniel Lowe against Albert Suarez, 35. JD Davis had cleanup the other day. Didn't do anything with it, but
walked a couple times. First couple at bats he walked. Soderstrom, 27. Yes.
Slate, Dubon, if he's still in the lineup against Quintana at 3K.
Yep, that's a good one.
So I don't mind those.
Rowdy, if you're playing Pirates, he's been good. Sure. Hit him clean up the other day too.
Sure. Second base. Got Albies versus lefty, of Altuve versus lefty, of Marte versus lefty. So
yeah, I'm not afraid to go back to Albies, although he's in a massive slump right now. I'd go back to him against lefty. Altuve is not in a massive slump. Altuve has been awesome, so I might lean Altuve just for how good he's been. But I think Ketel Marte is probably the play here. He's the cheapest of the three, and he's been amazing against lefties, and it's probably the best matchup, best ballpark to hit in all three of them. So I think Marte's the guy for me above 5K.
Yeah, I like it. I don't mind Terang, 49, a little bit cheaper than that if you wanted to go down there. Michael Garcia, dual position eligibility against McKenzie. I know we haven't played a lot of Garcia, but McKenzie has struggled. Nolan Gorman's got some power. I was trying to think. Mentioned Horowitz already. India, just keep playing him as long as he's leading off at 3,700.
Long as he's leading off, just keep going back to the well.
We talked about Randy Vasquez and his troubles. Well, again, it's lefties, right? You mentioned having issues for him.
Randy Vasquez splits lefties, crazy splits.
Yeah, so maybe Manuel Valdez there at 36.
This is an awful game for Randy Vasquez to pick.
A whole bunch of lefties coming in.
Awful game for him.
Let's see here.
Interesting. Michael Massey was 4K on the Thursday slate. His 3,200, and he hits fifth.
I think it was a small slate pricing maybe for Massey on that one. Very much willing to go Massey here.
Same.
Let's see. We'll say things might be getting a little bit easier for Logan Gilbert. Carlos Correa got hit in the arm by a pitch and immediately went to the dugout.
Yep.
So doesn't seem likely Carlos Correa is going to be in the lineup the way he was holding his arm there. So third base here. Jose Ramirez, Royce Lewis up at the top. Devers, as you mentioned, Vasquez splits versus lefties. Riley, 5,200. Can't really go wrong with the top group.
Can't go wrong. Obviously, you could play any of them. I think Ramirez and Devers, Riley are your Luis Rengifo getting a Coors Field bump, not in Coors. He's $5,100.
I know. And they take away all of his positional eligibility as third base.
Yeah. It's Ramirez, Devers, Riley for me above 5K.
Yep. Agreed. Let's see. Where are we on Morel homer run here? It's been a little bit. Yep. I'm not going to chase that then. Bregman versus lefty, 4,400. Josh Smith keeps going on, 4,100.
Yep. Yeah, Smith. Suarez was due for some regression and got lit up his last start.
Yeah. Yep. Miranda, 36. There he is, right?
Yeah.
Go against Gilbert?
No, but you can. I don't think it's like.
I mean, he's been very good, right?
He's been great against righties too. Great.
Let's see what else we got going on down here. Blaze Alexander's 32.
He's been bad, but
yeah.
Schneeman probably he's hitting second on Thursday, so. If that's going to be a thing, then sure.
Shortstop. By the way, Gunnar Henderson, Ellie De La Cruz, top three guys there.
How do you not play it? Like Gunnar just feels like an everyday play at this point.
I agree with you 1,000%, but like Bobby Witt versus Tristan McKenzie feels like a good.
That is a good one. That is a good
one. There's a chance Scherzer looks like Scherzer and just,
of course,
dominates that lineup.
Of course,
I mean, if McKenzie looks like McKenzie's looked, Bobby Witt might have, a double dong in this game or something like that. So
that's fair.
I think Bobby Witt's my one here, and he's obviously the highest price guy. So I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Seager versus Suarez, though, obviously you're getting a $1,400 discount on Corey Seager. We know what this guy can do when he gets going. So
agreed.
I'm very happy to get him in the lineup. Let's see. Volpe versus Kikuchi's 47. That feels pretty good.
Yeah, he just needs to turn. I mean, he just hasn't been good. I'm not saying he will continue to be bad. He just,
David Hamilton, 4,200.
Dude, I'm all in on Boston. Vasquez can't get lefties out. They haven't. Dude,
and Red Sox are home too, which is like,
it's
the spot.
Dude, they had 6 lefties against Bassett, then got Weiler and Reese McGuire, and there's 8, and you're like, oh man, this is scary for anybody pitching.
Yeah, the only righty is Tyler O'Neill.
and also if they really needed to split up, be like, hey Rob, you want to come off the bench and hit 330 and pinch hit here in this spot?
So Payne isn't struggling, but he's $3,900.
Hits lefties well too.
He does hit lefties well, yeah. We were in a Wisely the other day. He came through. It was pretty good for there. The 2 hits, the double, the run scored. Yesterday, not great, but the day before that, pretty good.
Yesterday, not great. No.
Yeah, day before that, pretty good. Got IKF. Probably it for value.
Yep.
And then Outfield. Pick your favorite stack, build around it.
Aaron Judge, that's my favorite stack.
Yeah.
He's just, if it's not, it's Ohtani. Just right. It's one of those
4,500 a player with Judge Ohtani in your lineup. Yeah.
It is just one of those 2 guys, and move it on.
It was now 3 back-to-back days where you had basically all the Henderson and Judge homered. The day before that, you had Henderson, Judge, and Ohtani homers. It's the top 3 guys in homers just keep homering together
every day. Yeah, every day.
Quan, Duran, elite.
Yep.
Elite plays there. Give no arguments probably there. I still shudder at the Quan price.
Yes.
At 56, but he just keeps being good. So even though StatCast looks at him as you might be the worst hitter we have, but he's just out there doing things.
He's the worst best hitter in baseball.
Is. Yeah, he's the worst best hitter in baseball. Riley Green, not bad at 49. Santander's been homering a lot. I know Scherzer.
All the time.
Luis Roberts.
48. Yeah, that's a good. Luis Robert, I'd play him as a one-off. In a scenario where Dakota Hudson gave up 8 earned his last time.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds has been smashing it. You got him a homer the other day.
Is his streak still going? It is, right?
Yeah.
23 games, I think.
Merrill versus Pivetta. The way Pivetta's going, I'd play Jackson Merrill here at 45.
Yeah, and obviously the power has been the most surprising thing about Jackson Merrill, especially in June. So for sure, interested in Jackson Merrill.
Varsha, probably not.
Buxton's been so good. I know it's obviously a tough spot, but
yeah, I mean his splits are definitely more towards the lefty matchup, but he did homer obviously today off a righty.
If Weiler's ever going to get going, this is the spot.
This would be the spot, yeah. Listen, Lourdes hammers lefties.
He does.
You look at his batting average splits, over 300 against left-handed pitching. So, got him at 4K. That feels pretty good. Let's see. Wyatt Langford's obviously been really good lately. You can go there. What do you think for value? Anything popping off the page for you? Blade maybe 36.
Can we draft Bronny James like the Lakers did?
Lakers took Bronny, which we knew, right?
Yeah.
We had to assume that was going to happen.
Writing's on the wall. I like some Cardinals here against
Burleson.
Montas, dude, Burleson 39 for no reason. Just gonna say it, no reason. He should be easily over 4K with how good he's been.
Mm-hmm.
And Donovan's 37. Donovan's been arguably better than Burleson lately. Donovan's having the worst year, but both those guys, I wish that we still had like the first base eligibilities that they used to have, but I'd be good on both those guys.
Did like a Burleson, Donovan, Judge outfield.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty comfortable. And I don't know. Obviously, there's going to be like Hunter Renfroe and like cheap value plays down like Sedon
Yeah, I mean
Rafael,
Houston cheap outfielders, right? You're
all of
going to
them.
get Myers and McCormick.
Yeah.
Against a lefty, we'll be down here. You mentioned Ramon Laureano. He gets a lefty, and Martin Perez. You know, you've called out his recent production, so there's definitely some cheap guys down here if you wanted to get it going. Yep. Pico Armstrong stole 2 bags and 1 at bat today. Maybe you saw that.
Who stole two bags and 1 at bat?
Pico Armstrong stole 2nd and 3rd
on one pitch.
No, just 1 at bat.
Let's say is it 1 pitch, he'd be the fastest human alive.
No,
that would be cool.
But he is very fast considering that he's got 15 stolen bases now in 47 games. So.
You know what? You know something that we might have missed here. Did you see Jahan Kensey Noel for Cleveland?
Yes.
Homer in his first at bat. He's $2,000 first base outfield.
What's
J
his,
Hunk? Just type in J Hunk, one word.
And Noel, yeah, 2K.
Alec Marsh has been reverse splits this year.
Okay.
If that dude is in our world at 2K, I mean, you want to get do you want to find a way to get Judge and Ohtani or Judge plus someone else like Bobby Witt? This is the direction you take.
Trying to think here. We did Ober, Noel. Are you buying Morton? Like, what's your?
I don't mind Charlie Morton. I think Drew Thorpe would probably be the like 7K pitcher we go. Just given it's the Rockies matchup, I think that would be the guy.
Okay. Let's play with the Thorpe so we can get some extra bats in here.
I think Naylor makes sense at 3K. Reese McGuire 29, probably like the 2 primary targets we'd want.
Sure. Naylor's fine for me, 3K. Second base, we went with Cattell, right?
We have a lot of money. Or we spend up to Bobby Witt or Devers. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of very, very good baseball players.
Do you have a preference of Marte or Witt?
Probably Bobby.
2,300.
But obviously the Marte.
Did we have a 20?
Marte might be a little easier to get to. So you don't have to play Nicky Lopez.
Well, let's go. Let's see. We got a little cheaper catcher. Let's see. Go Male, maybe.
If he plays, it's a righty, right? He usually only plays against lefties.
All right, so we did Naylor. So
come on, just go off Witt and play Marte. That was a fine play. He crushes lefties.
Marte there. $3,800 shortstop.
I mean, it's Wisely.
Yeah, we're still just shy of getting like a Hamilton in here. If you had to pick one of Burleson or Donovan to move off of,
I would probably, if we're saving money, I would probably just pick the cheaper guy. I think Burleson's been better this year, but Donovan's been better lately.
$3,500 outfielder is
Hunter Renfroe, 34.
Yeah,
for a home run, or sure. Melendez, 35 for a home run.
Yeah, that place. All right. So example lineup: we got Ober, Thorpe, Naylor, Noel, Marte, Devers, Hamilton, Donovan, Renfroe, and Judge. $100 left over. Grande will be on the playbook, and we'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you check that out and tune in then. We appreciate you all tuning in now, and we'll see you later.